Let's begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, humans of every gender and
race.
That's getting strange already. Yeah, sure, why not? And also non-genders, because, you know, we're totally inclusive and stuff. Now,
Hey, wait. Are non-genders just another type of gender?
I don't even know. Let's not touch that with a barge pole.
Okay, cool.
I feel I'm walking into a horrible trap, and I'm about to stick my foot in my mouth, and I don't want to. Now, you may have noticed that we didn't record last week. That was because of reasons, and they're not exciting reasons, so I'm not going to go into them. This does, however, mean that this week we've got a big one, said the vicar to the actress. Innuendo.
And so on and so forth. You also may notice, whilst I'm talking, there may be a little bit of clattering, some banging, some whirring, just some generally exciting sounds. It's not so exciting. It's my bathroom being redone. But
the reason that's happening is because Grey had explosive diarrhea and exploded the pan of his toilet.
It's true. It's all true. I did explode my toilet with
like
diarrhea.
A high-pressure water hose. Boom. Shattered. Porcelain everywhere.
Anyway, that's why Jess and I are looking for a new house.
And it was like, we could tidy this up, but let's just completely refit the bathroom, because fuck this.
I'll be honest, it seemed easier at the time.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
You know what? I don't want to clear this shit up, literally. I'm just going to get other people to just rip the entire bathroom out.
But here's the thing. Micah's such a sound whiz that when we have someone like smashing stuff in the background, I'm fairly sure Micah will be able to cover that up with birdsong.
Do you reckon?
No, not at all.
It's going to be awful.
I've heard one round of banging already. It was really fucking loud.
Okay, let's
rock on with the show. Well, what has happened? There's been an update. There is Overwatch League pre-season beginnings, but not on Twitch. There's Overwatch League merch. There is Nate Nanza, the Owl Commissioner, answering questions. There is Owl. Where's Owl? Oh, we can't call it Owl League, can we?
So what I've done
oh God, that's like pin numbers. Fuck.
I've decided that because you kept calling it Owl, I started changing, not putting in OWL, but instead putting OW League.
But I'm going to keep calling it Owl League, and I'm going to keep being wrong, because it's Overwatch League, if that's the case.
Yes.
Anyway, there's tokens. Prepare to be bowled over. Ready Player One trailer has Tracer in it. Man, we didn't disguise what that bit's about with the topic on that one, did we? Really obvious. That was me. Send your Christmas stuff to Blizzard. Overwatch 2 by 2020. Comp Season 8 changes. And in-game notifications of actioned reports going live.
Should we start with the Overwatch update?
The Overwatch. Well, of course we're starting with the Overwatch. All there is the Overwatch, Grey.
I don't know. There's also my diarrhea.
That's true.
Yep.
Let's not talk about that. The update. There's been a Winter Wonderland. Jeff did a teaser for the Winter Wonderland, saying how everyone wants May.
Yes.
I have noticed a lot more people playing May in comp off the back of this and the Winter Wonderland thing. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, we got a load of skins.
Yep.
We got an extra game mode.
Yep. Game mode is kind of fun for about half an hour.
Yep. And it's a really good way to get
seasonal loot
treasure
boxes.
Chests. That's the one. Why am I calling them treasure chests?
I don't know. You've been playing too much of the Hearthstone update.
Yeah, maybe. I realised I had an epiphany last night thinking about the sub-game, which, let's just describe what it is. I mean, you will have played it by the time you hear this, but whatever. It's Winston is a rage monster with a bajillion health, and lots of maize are hunting down the Winston. Enough said. Winston eats meat, goes after the maize. And my realisation is, it's Pac-Man.
Oh!
Because the maize are the ghosts, and Winston is Pac-Man, and okay, Pac-Man only needs to hit one power-up pill before he starts going wacka-wacka, but Winston has to eat 4, then he gets to start going wacka-wacka and eat the ghosts.
I think that's kind of a cool way of looking at it, actually. I hadn't thought of it like that. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay, glad we cleared that up.
Winston on drugs.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do that thing. It's forced me to actually learn some basic May mechanics.
Mechanics?
Yeah,
I'm just here for the bad puns.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good. So that's pretty much the game mode. Is there anything more to say about it?
No.
Okay, let's not. Skins?
They're cool, they're skins, but you've got eyes. You play this game.
Well, I mean, okay, right. What was your favourite, Grey?
Oh, I think it was the Anna owl skin.
Probably mine too.
Yeah.
Although, close second is the Roadhog Walrus.
Okay, fair enough. I have got to give a special...
Have you seen the Take a Breather?
No.
On the Walrus? Okay, the Take a Breather on the Walrus is a can of tuna that he mashes into his face. Oh, yes, it is.
That's
it's pretty special. Sorry, you were saying?
I was just going to say, the one thing I do have to say about skins is Hanzo. I never realised what a long body he is.
Yeah, no, I think it's just because it's like when you see gangster rappers with the baggy trousers and exceptionally long T-shirts.
I think that his knees are really, really low.
Maybe.
Like, he has tiny, tiny shins and then an extra long body. But it is wrong.
When you see Hanzo normally, he kind of seems to have reasonable shins.
Well, the thing is that when you see him normally, he's got these like shin wraps on, and then he's got this like belt stuff. I think that if you actually start looking at it, you will realize how weird it is. And it was the skin, the casual skin, that showed me how weird his body is.
No, I want to see the skeleton. I want to see where his knee bends to believe this.
Okay,
we'll get to this later. Okay.
Just to make sure that you can take a look and go, nope, Hanzo's got a weird-ass body.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yep.
PTR changes.
Yes.
We've had a lot of those, haven't we?
We've had a couple of them. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting in either of them, really. Like, it's mostly bug fixes. There were two of them. There was one on December 5th, and then there was one on December 13th.
Ooh, wait. Rewind a second. I forgot about the most important part of the update.
Okay, go on.
There's a mark all as seen button in your hero gallery. Ah, yes.
I've gotten into the habit of actually looking at everything and making sure I know what I got.
So have I, but now I don't need to.
Okay.
I like being lazy.
That's fair. Okay, but important PTR update. From December 13th, Zenyatta now has the health of the people he puts his Discord and his Harmony orbs on as a part of the overlay.
That's really good.
It's really strong. Now, everybody was asking for the friendly healing orb so they can kind of see when they've topped someone off.
Yep.
But no one was asking for the Discord. And the Discord is crazy strong information, because every time you put the Discord on someone, you know their health now. Even if you haven't damaged them. That's crazy strong information.
It's just going to make me even more, like, slightly twitchy, though, when we have a Zenyatta not in comms.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Zen recently.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of good in the current meta, isn't he?
He's really strong in the current meta. And also, it's just one of those things of I needed a more defensive support hero to play than Anna.
But isn't he weirdly, totally offensive?
You can play him very offensively, but you shouldn't be. Like, if you're playing him too offensively, I think that you're playing him wrong. Essentially,
I guess his low mobility and huge damage output makes him a massive fuck off, right?
He becomes a high priority target on the front line if you play him too offensively.
Yeah. But
what you should be doing is you should be sticking with your other support, giving them your healing orb a lot of the time so they can survive the flankers and protecting them. And then dishing out damage, like spam damage essentially in between.
That's interesting.
And choosing your Discord targets, like priority stuff. But yeah, cool. you just Discord the right people who your team are hitting, and you make sure the other healer stays alive. And
I guess this all just helps a lot.
Yeah. Like, keeping your other healer alive, if they're a main healer, is huge.
Yes.
Like, there are so many more team fights that you win when your main healer's alive. So you just protect the hell out of them.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that. Next topic.
Yes.
Overwatch League preseason begins, but weirdly enough, it wasn't shown on Twitch.
No. So the pre-season was essentially a whole bunch of show matches. There was no like prize as such. I mean, it was kind of a slightly tournament style
wasn't
thing.
it also like one of the teams like wasn't there? Was it? It wasn't.
Yeah,
Fuel,
one of the
was
teams had visa problems. I can't remember exactly who it was, and it wasn't Fuel. Dallas Fuel were definitely there. But anyway, one of the teams essentially couldn't be there. And they did a whole bunch of matches, sort of like in a slightly tournament round robin kind of style. And it was a lot of fun to watch, but it wasn't on Twitch. Now, there are a couple of things which have kind of come out of this. First of all, it was on the Overwatch League website, and it was on the MLG.TV website. And what most people said is, that's not going to be good for viewership. Twitch just has the biggest viewership. You're going to have to do everything on Twitch.
Yeah, you want to get on the front page of Twitch and you'll pick up an extra few thousand viewers, right?
Yes.
Like, what's not to like?
Absolutely. And they kind of talked a whole bunch about that and how, like, Blizzard were just trying to push their own, because Blizzard, Activision own MLG.TV.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to push their own platform because they get more ad revenue from it.
Right.
But after watching it on MLG.TV or the Overwatch League website, what a lot of people said is one of the big upsides to MLG.TV is they have a higher bitrate than what Twitch.tv allows, which means you can watch in a higher quality.
That's interesting.
But they still want it on Twitch, and it's kind of been semi-confirmed that that was just kind of a...
For MLG TV, do they have an equivalent of Twitch chat?
I don't... I think they do, but it's not quite the same.
Okay, because it's not my thing, but like a lot of people like the hype of Twitch chat.
Yeah, I don't get that. I just hide Twitch chat, honestly.
Yeah, because most people are horrible, right?
Like, I just people spamming emotes and lol 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 and other memes, or various things like that, just doesn't add anything to my viewing experience.
I guess there's hype, like seeing everyone like absolutely shitting the bed when something amazing happens. I guess there's the shared experience of that, and that's what you get at real life sports events, where like everyone else is on their feet and cheering, so that elates you. But I don't know.
I mean, I guess, but doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But anyway, I imagine Overwatch League, the real Overwatch League, will be on Twitch.tv. But if you want a cleaner, higher quality viewing experience, you may want to watch it on the Overwatch League website.
I might actually try that.
I'm going to be watching it on the Overwatch League website. Certainly when I watch the replays and the VODs, but probably if I watch it live, I'll watch it there as well.
Yeah. Cool. We should do that. Next, Overwatch League merch has happened.
Yes. I mean, we all knew this was coming, that you're going to be able to buy jerseys and hats and jackets from your favourite teams. And now it's here. So go to the Blizzard store.
But here's what I find really galling. So I've just had a bad experience with the Blizzard store. No fault of Blizzard's particularly. What happened was I ordered a Reinhardt hoodie and it arrived, but it was much smaller than I thought it would be. So I sent it back saying this doesn't fit. Could I get a larger replacement? They said, we can't give you a larger replacement. We might not have them in stock again. So here's a refund. So essentially with the shipping fees and the import fees, it's going to have cost me £30 to not have a hoodie. Now, to repeat that with, say, a shirt for London Spitfire, which is our local team, I find that really galling, especially when it's called London Spitfire. And why don't they have a UK stockist?
I do find the fact that they don't have a local stockist, it's not just galling. I find it, I won't go as far as say insulting, but it's just like, why would I support you and buy your stuff if I then have to pay a whole bunch of extra tax fees? Like, they're not unexpected fees if you know about importing stuff, but they're fees which don't factor into, like, the actual buying of the merch, and it feels bad. It's not a good experience. Why can I not go to the London Spitfires and buy directly from them because they're in my country?
And here's the thing, like, it's not like these clothes are made in California where Blizzard are shipping them from. They're made in China, possibly Bangladesh. So why So Blizzard is having it shipped to them in California, then I have to pay a load of import duties to get it from America, which is mad. Let me just fucking buy from source. Oh, God. Anyway, that's my rant.
Nope.
If there was an easy way to get a Spitfire shirt, I would.
I'm more and more thinking, you know what? Sol Dynasty. I quite like them. I enjoyed watching them. I just enjoyed watching them, you know?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It feels like London Spitfire making it hard for me to support them.
I can understand that. Also, I'm actually just not familiar with any of the London Spitfire players, really.
And unlike other teams like Dallas Fuel, they're not reaching out. Like the New York team, they've got loads of internet presence. London Spitfire, they're not doing anything.
No. The owner did put out a video saying like how he was going to do a whole bunch of stuff, but I hasn't really blossomed any of it. But he wants people to engage with it like football, and I've seen none of it. You know, none of the real engagement. So
yeah. Oh well. Anyway, we'll keep you posted on how that goes. Attempting to support London Spitfire.
Well, you can keep me posted as to how it is supporting London Spitfire, because they haven't brought me over yet.
Next, I think we should talk about Overwatch League tokens.
Oh, yeah, have we? Well, goodness, it has been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah, we haven't talked about the in-game skins.
Yes, so in-game, you're going to be able to buy your favourite skins from your favourite team, but you're not going to be able to buy it, like, you're not buying a team skin that applies to all heroes. Yeah. You buy individual skins for individual heroes. But how do you do that?
Tokens, I'm guessing, from the title?
Yes. So essentially what's happening is, as a way of splitting revenue and also having a way of awarding skins without kind of just giving you a skin which may or may not be the one that you want, what Blizzard have decided to do is essentially introduce a new in-game currency called tokens. And what happens is you can buy tokens, and any tokens that you buy goes directly into the Overwatch League pool of money, which kind of funds all the stuff, gives people salaries, pays for advertising, pays for, hosting, etc., etc., etc. And that way, they know exactly how much revenue is split off. Also, if in future they want to do events where they give away tokens, this means they have a very easy way of giving you a token and not saying, here, have a way of buying an in-game skin thing for a hero, which they just take all the complication out of it. It is just, you get a token, and that token is worth one skin.
Yeah, and I'm presuming if they're clever, you're going to be able to gift tokens.
I imagine so, yeah.
Because
you got to be able to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this is an elegant solution to the problems that selling these might have had.
Yep. And how many new skins is that? They're all epics, presumably, just because they're all recolors.
Yeah, I imagine so. That is going to be, 12 times 23?
312 is what this bit of the internet is telling you right now.
That sounds about right.
Sure, it sounds plausible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's also going to be interesting because it's going to make legendary skins less common to see out and about, because people will be wearing their team support skins, I suspect.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be a moneymaker, because I have a feeling that I'm going to quite like some of these skins. Yeah. There's going to be a couple of heroes when I'm going to want a couple of good skins.
Yeah, it depends. I wonder what the price point will be, because they are just going to be epics, right?
Yeah, but they're also going to be epics which support... I actually hadn't considered it. I actually genuinely had not really kind of had the thought process of, how much is this going to be cost? Is this going to be £2, £10, or £20?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there is the added value of it connects you to a team that you're supporting. So it's not just an epic skin. It's not a recoloration. It's saying a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I am almost certainly going to buy the Anna Sol Dynasty skin, because Ryu Jae-hong plays Anna for Sol Dynasty, and I really like Ryu Jae-hong.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, while we're still on the Overwatch League, Nate Nanzer, the Overwatch League commissioner, answers questions.
Yes. So it's just a couple of little tidbits. The first one is there going to be an Overwatch League app? Yes, there is, and it's coming in January. It's that simple.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so essentially, I assume what you're going to be able to do is you'll be able to sign up for notifications, news from your favourite teams. You'll be able to watch it through the app, all those sort of good things.
All I want from an app is a reminder of when the hell the matches are being played.
Oh, yeah, there'll be a schedule on there, and there will be notifications. There's got to be.
Because, right, I don't watch TV anymore. I don't even own a TV. I watch stuff on the internet, and that means I just stream it whenever. That means I'm completely out of touch with having to wait for a particular time to watch a TV show, and I've lost the ability, so I need a phone to fix that for me.
I'm so with you on that. My ability to keep track of when specific events are happening live has gone out the shitter with the rest of my bathroom.
Exploded.
Yeah, it's just gone. I just don't do it. No. I can't. I've just lost that muscle. Notifications telling me when stuff's about to go down would be good. That being said, I dislike watching live because there is so much natter between matches.
Yes, it's hard to get to the meat of the whole thing.
Yeah, I really only enjoy watching the meat. There's very little of the commentary that I actually really enjoy, except for when Monte Cristo kind of did his set of reveals, should we call it?
Yes.
That was fantastic.
So what else is going on with the Overwatch League?
Well, Nate Nanza really likes the idea of having a fantasy league for Overwatch, and I'm going to come forward with a confession. I have absolutely zero understanding of how a fantasy league works, because I know that you have a table and there's you can somehow win and stuff. How on earth does that work?
This is how fantasy football works, or this is how fantasy football leagues that I've played in the past work. There are probably a million different ways of doing this. So the people who know about things rate all of the players and put a price on them. You are given X amount of fantasy money with which to buy players. With that money, you put together a team of players. Now, as the league progresses, your players that you've chosen get stats, and those stats convert to points in some convoluted way. So if you pick the squad of players that does the best out of all of the players, then you get the most points.
Oh, so it's kind of a stat tracking.
Yes.
Okay. But as an aggregate of a team of players.
Well, right, here's the weird thing. It's not, if you've got a superstar player who performs really, really well, but their team loses a load of games, you still get pretty good points for that player.
Yeah. So
that's
it's really
how it works.
So it's really tracking the stats of individual players.
Yeah.
So you're going to have someone who's just always popping off and trying to carry their unfortunately awful team and still do well.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not really my cup of tea, but I'm glad if something like that happens.
Me too. Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Cool. And they also, Nate Nanza also talks a bit about the reason they've got the seasons broken up into Atlantic stages and Pacific stages, Atlantic Division and Pacific Division. And essentially is to try and keep the travel under control so that teams aren't constantly on the road and jet lagged and underperforming.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
So they've kind of created a system to try and minimize that. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Watching a load of burnt out players trying to play video games by the end of the season. No one really wants that.
Oh, you just know that they're not enjoying it either.
Yeah.
You can tell when people are just burned out, and it's good that they've considered that, It'll be good just overall. Cool.
Yeah. Next. I am prepared to be bowled over. Grey, hit me with it.
Okay. It is literally a bowl.
Right.
It is. I only want to put it in there because of the bad pun. I don't understand why they're selling this. It is a ramen bowl that comes with a ramen soup spoon and chopsticks that has the Murloc in the spaceship on Hanamura.
Oh, yes.
It's themed with that Murloc. It's called Rikimaru Ramen. I kind of like almost don't understand this piece of merch,
Yeah,
but
why
I kind
does
of
this
love
exist?
it. I have no idea, but I kind of love it. I kind of want it. It's dumb. It's childish, but I'm just like, yeah, I like ramen. When did I last have ramen? I haven't had ramen in a while, but I kind of want it. It's dumb. I just saw this and I was like, this was so out of left field for me.
Yeah. It's a bowl. It's some chopsticks.
It is a bowl.
spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much else to say.
Okay. That is weird.
It is strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Huh.
Like, it's just, I assume
I'm just
it's
looking at it and thinking, but why?
Yeah.
It just seems so niche. Like, this costs a lot of money to, like...
I assume
Well, maybe
that...
it doesn't. Maybe it's just printing a bowl. Maybe someone, like, has a cousin in the bowl printing business.
And just thought, I'll get you that commission, so you can always do that and make some. Maybe it's just one of those things of actually this is a big thing in like the Asian market.
Oh yeah,
having but what I find weird is that they went with the Murloc
as opposed to some
like
well-known character.
Yeah, any of the heroes. They went with the Murloc in the spaceship.
Yeah,
I don't understand, and that fascinates me. It just really like tickles me for some reason that this exists.
Yeah, no, I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Cool.
Another tickling of something small existing is in the Ready Player One trailer. Ready Player One being a new film by Steven Spielberg based on the book written by Ernest Cline. Is it Ernest Cline or Ernest Cline?
I think it's Ernest Cline. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got Tracer in it.
Yep. Did you actually read the book?
I never read the book, no.
I read the book.
Is it good?
Okay. It's kind of holiday trash.
Yeah. In fact, wait, we should explain the premise and why Trailer's in it. Trailer is in it? Oh, God.
Yeah, well,
why Tracer is in it. A character called Trailer. She sounds like Trailer Park Trash or something.
God, no. Anyway.
Yes, it's like in the future, in a virtual world where it's like a mashup of, 20th century culture. Although this is 21st century culture. In VR. So it has like, all IP from everything. It's got Street Fighter characters. It's got a whole lot.
Okay, the premise of the book is that the world is overpopulated and no one has any money, or at least, in a more extreme way than we currently have. Like the strata of society are more.
So everyone lives in VR.
So like everybody lives in VR because no one has any of their own personal space. And then it's about this idea, and it's then just kind of exploring pop subculture and just like Ernest Cline going off on one, having a proper like rant about pop culture from like video games, essentially, in like 80s and 90s and 2000s pop culture, and just kind of creating that world with this very two-dimensional set of characters who basically are just there for him to wank off about all the pop culture that he loves. Like it is not what I would call good literature. It is kind of fun in a sort of like, oh, I know that, and I recognize where that came from. Oh, I see where that came from. So if you like all those sort of pop culture references, you're probably going to get a level of enjoyment out of this book and possibly out of the movie. I haven't seen it, but
I know,
oh my God.
I know you don't like this comparison, but it tickles me so much. I've heard it described as it's Twilight for dudes.
I don't like this comparison because I don't think it's unhealthy, whereas I think Twilight was unhealthy.
Yeah, a lot of Twilight is just like, oh God, no.
But
this is not right.
Oh my God, this is man trash. That's what I would call it, man trash. Because there is a trope of trashy romantic novels for women, just where the women just.
This is like,
I mean, kind of like Twilight, but Twilight is like at an extreme end.
Yes.
But this is definitely what I would call man trash, where it is very superficial.
I feel we've gone so off topic. There's a trailer, Tracer's in it, literally for like a fraction of a second. So that's it.
So here's the one thing that I want to know.
We're getting off topic.
No, this is so on topic. I want to know, was it them that approached Blizzard, or was it Blizzard that approached them?
Oh, good question.
Like, I want to know which way the money is flowing.
I'm not sure money's flowing. I suspect it would be Blizzard that contacted the film because they were like, this is good, exposure for our character and the game. But I suspect the film was like, yes, we're happy to have this IP of, something that's in,
you don't think money exchanged hands?
Why?
Okay, very simple. Seeing stuff and recognizing it in multiple places is exceptionally good for sales.
So you think Blizzard paid for essentially product placement?
I think that there is a good chance Blizzard were the ones that paid for this, despite the fact that it's their IP.
Maybe. Yeah, because it does seem a bit off the wall, doesn't it?
Tracer does not fit with a lot of the other references in this film.
There's a lot of 80s stuff in there. Tracer is not 80s.
Tracer is definitely not 80s.
Yeah, maybe Blizzard had to fork up some cash for this,
so I think that she just seemed so out of place with all of the other stuff that to me I was like, what is Tracer doing there? I bet Blizzard paid for that. Anyway, that's the theory. I could be wrong. Maybe they forked out the arse with it. Maybe they were like, oh my god, Overwatch is huge. We need to get an Overwatch character in it.
Well, it might just be like one of the producers enjoys playing Overwatch, so he gave Blizzard a ring and was like, hey, can we put Tracer in?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway,
next, Blizzard are having a money-saving enterprise in their head offices. They are attempting not to fork out on Christmas decorations this year by getting you, the Overwatch fans, to send them office decorations. I made up the bit about money saving.
Okay.
Basically, they want you to send them stuff to decorate their office.
Okay.
Which is odd.
It's kind of like... Okay, so if they were like, you know what? We have a budget that we usually put towards charity, and somehow we're going to make sure we're going to allocate all of the money we usually spend on Christmas decorations, making the place look cool, to charity, but we don't want to have bare offices. Would you help us? But no, it's just like, send us your shit.
Yeah, which I find really weird. Like, the last line of their official, playoverwatch.com page is, we couldn't ask for a better community, and we can't wait to unwrap whatever presents you make. This is literally like me, phoning up my gran. Well, no, she'd give me presents anyway. It's like phoning up, a friend that, In fact, no, what it's like is, it's like us demanding that people send us presents for doing a podcast, which is weird. Why would you do that?
It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No. Man, another thing we don't get. Anyway.
Yes.
So this is kind of a huge one. By 2020, there is going to be Overwatch 2.
Hang on, wait. Said who?
Okay, so this is... Activision have stated it to get a share boost. We are raising our 2019 and 2020 estimates on account of a robust multi-year pipeline of games. Diablo, Overwatch 2, and Blizzard mobile title, which we don't think street estimates are fully taking into account.
No. This is Christopher Merwin. Christopher Merwin is an analyst.
Right. But, okay. But where have they got their information from?
Here's something that you need to know.
I thought this was information from Activision.
No. This is not from Activision. This is
have I got the wrong end of the stick?
Okay. So, in stock markets, there are people called analysts. And essentially, these people are bullshit artists.
Right.
What they do is they look at companies and they say, here's what we think these people are going to do in the future, how they're going to perform, and I'm basing this off something. They never tell you what, because if they told you what, then you'd be able to go and check their sources and you kind of be able to do your own maths. The idea is that somehow these people have some knowledge which isn't always readily available to the public. Maybe they've traded favors, maybe they've kind of bribed some people, but somehow these people have gotten hold of some information which means they know more about the future. What this reads to me, is this person
shit up?
Does not understand Blizzard.
Then why are major news outlets going with this?
Because they don't check facts.
Shit! Did I just not check facts?
Yes. Well, it's not the
It's a good job you're here, Grey.
You went to CNBC, which is not like it's not the worst of places to get news from, but analysts.
It's not BuzzFeed, is what I'm saying. I've got nothing against BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed have actually done some good articles.
Yeah, they've actually broken some stories, which is crazy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we're getting off topic again.
But what this reads to me is that this guy has looked at what Overwatch is, what Blizzard have done in the past, and what they've looked at Overwatch and thought, this is in the sequential title category. They've gone, this is Overwatch is going to be a bit like Diablo and a bit like to an extent StarCraft.
But wait, I'm getting right. This other report is saying that Goldman Sachs has raised its rating for Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, but
they're a proper company, right?
They are, but they can base it off other factors. For example, they can take a look at the Overwatch League and say, you know what? We think that they're onto something there. We think that this is actually going to increase market share, and this is actually going to be really good for Blizzard over the next couple of years. This is a company that's forward-thinking, that is thinking about revenue models that other companies aren't thinking of, and by creating and owning their own league, they get a higher profit share than, say, the League of Legends people do. And by having that higher profit share, we think that this is going to make the company worth more in the future. Like,
right.
This is how stocks work. It is all speculation, and analysts are just people who speculate even harder, and they tend to go through extremes. Okay, the reason I know all this is because I know a lot about Apple, and I know a lot about Apple analysts, and the amount of horse shit that come out of analysts.
So this is like a known thing in certain circles.
Yeah, in certain circles, you're just like, who is this person? Oh, this person, an analyst. I don't trust a word they say. Oh. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well, in that case, let's move on.
But the reason I think that this is worth discussing is because the amount that Blizzard are investing in the forward progression of Overwatch means that Overwatch 2 by 2020 makes no sense. I think it would be financially bad for them.
Some people have hypothesized that what it might be would be like some kind of spin-off, like if they were going to do, say, like they've been flirting with PvE experiences, although that is against like what the game industry has been kind of doing recently.
I think that anything like that would essentially be sold as an X-Pack for Overwatch. It would not be Overwatch 2. It would be Overwatch 2, the Omnic War expansion. And essentially what you do is you go in game and you would buy the Omnic War expansion, and you'd be able to explore this entire, piece of the history.
The other possibility is that, like Overwatch 2 might not be the title. It might be an entire like add-on, like you're saying here, that you bolt onto Overwatch.
Yeah, it would have to somehow not interfere. Anything they would do
if it was a PvE experience, then
yeah, I think essentially it would have to be in a PvE experience. It would have to be something that is other to the core experience of Overwatch and the progression of the Overwatch League. Because the Overwatch League is a cash cow. It is not something they are losing money on Overwatch League right now. I bet my bottom dollar.
Yes.
So you don't invest the amount of cash that they've invested in Overwatch League unless you plan to explore it for at least like 5-10 years and make a lot of money off it.
Which is interesting because it's almost like announcing that there would be an Overwatch 2 would drop the value of Overwatch because people would stop investing like money in skins for a game that has a limited lifespan.
Only if you don't know about video games. If what you know about video games is that Call of Duty 1 is now on Call of Duty 20 and each one of them keeps outselling the last one, and you look at the release of Overwatch and see how much money they made, you think, you know what, Overwatch 2 is probably going to be better. They're going to sell more copies of it. So I should buy that stock. Because all that stocks is a whole bunch of people trying to buy a limited set of stuff off other people who already own that stuff. So what they're doing is but when more people own your stock, it makes it more expensive for other people to buy into that stock because there's fewer of it to go around.
Yes, because more people want it. It's like what's going on with Bitcoin. Oh God, let's not get into that.
Let's not get into that. But so what's happened is someone has just decided that, but there are a whole bunch of good reasons for Blizzard stock to be going up right now. And this person has just looked at Overwatch stock going up and thought, I know how video games work. They're going to release sequels.
But they probably don't know how Blizzard works.
They don't know how Blizzard work. There you go.
Oh, I feel enlightened. Good
You're very
God.
welcome.
Okay. Now, down to really serious matters.
Oh, this is
Season 8 changes, and this is meat.
This is real meat. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to say, this is usually where we stop. We're at that time.
Well, this is a 2-weeker, so we can run on another 10 minutes, I think.
But for this, we must continue on. We cannot stop. Tell me about the changes.
Okay, so this is Scott Mercer chatting on the forums, and there's 2 biggies. One is they're limiting the skill rating variance for teams, which means there'll be slightly longer queue times, but the kind of skill level of teams should be tighter.
Yes.
Which is good. And it also says that they've been kind of messing around in this season, like adjusting certain things.
I've noticed that my queue times have had a much larger variance these past couple of weeks than the past.
Do you remember, like maybe a week ago, where we pressed that let's go button and we were instantly into a game every time?
It was crazy.
Yeah. So I think that's playing around with that.
Yes.
So it's good they're addressing that. Hopefully they'll get to a good one. That's not the biggie. The biggie, and this is huge, is they are removing the personal performance skill rating adjustment for diamond tier players and above. It is literally just going to be whether you win or lose.
I am deeply worried about this change.
Really?
Yes, for one reason and one reason only. And this may just be due to a complete lack of understanding on my part. But if you're essentially moving to you gain X amount when you win and lose X amount when you lose.
Yeah.
If you have what is very close to a 50% win-loss rating, doesn't that just mean that climbing is going to be nigh on impossible?
If you're winning 50% of your games and losing 50% of your games at a given skill rating...
No. I said close to. So currently, I have a win-loss rating of 52%. Right. Now, 52% is okay, but I've been climbing, like, over the course of the season, because of this personal performance skill rating. I've been clearly, in terms of whatever ways they're measuring my performance, I've been slowly climbing it as the season's gone on. And this has been a very, very pleasant experience for me. What I'm wondering is, okay, how many games will I have to win in order to climb? Because at the moment, I think that I could climb, up to 3,400 in probably another 10, 15 games, like with my current win-loss rating. But I'm going to
throw it out there. If you're only winning just over 50%, then you shouldn't be climbing that fast.
Well, but this is like what I'm worried about. Is let's say that I'm actually at my correct skill rating. Let's assume this is true for most players. Isn't everyone just going to end up really frustrated that they cannot climb?
Well, if you're at your skill rating, then unless you actually get better, you should not be able to climb.
I agree. I agree. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether I should or shouldn't climb.
Right. But you get that the current system...
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally understand. Like, if you're not winning more than 50, if your win-loss rate is close to 50%, you should probably be staying where you are. That is true, and I agree with that. However, in terms of what it feels like for the community, I'm worried a lot of people have been asking for this change, and they're going to hate it when it happens.
But assuming that everyone at the level they should be, then the skill rating adjustment doesn't actually mean that much. Unless you found a niche where you do better due to playing a particular character or something. Wait.
But I'm climbing. Like, over the course of games, because I only played like 60 games this season, and I've climbed about 200 skill rating.
Right.
So... with a 52% win rate.
Right. So and you're happy about that, but let's put that in context. There's someone who has exactly the same skill rating as you, and due to a quirk of this, skill performance rating, they've dropped 200.
Yeah.
That's going to feel pretty terrible for them.
I know. I don't think you can. Can you fall with a positive win rate? I don't think you can. Can you?
Well, right. It's a zero-sum system, Grey. If you can gain 200 with like a basic 50-50 win rate, then someone has to be losing 200 on a basic 50-50 win rate, right?
No, but except I have a 52% win rate. I've got a positive win rate.
Yeah.
So with a positive win rate, I should be climbing. I'm just wondering, if I've got a 52% win rate, with that 2%, how much of a difference is that going to make to how many games is that going to be for me to climb 25 skill rating? Does that make sense?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think skill rating works in that way.
But if you've got... Hang on, what do you mean?
Well, okay, right. In a grander picture, right? So you have skill rating that means like you'll do better in some games and worse in others, depending on not just because you win or lose, but because of these stats that they roll.
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm being attacked by a cat.
Fuck off!
Right. So, essentially, all that actually matters is whether your team wins or loses. This skill rating adjustment is like it just works off stats, like which is trying to quantify what makes a good player, right?
Yeah, we've had long discussions about how the various ways in which they could do this, but whatever they are, it takes a whole bunch of stats and said you did better.
It's
than
never
average.
going to be as accurate as did your team win, did your team lose.
I agree. But,
right.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, at what percentage above 50% win rate are you going to actually be able to climb? Like, at a reasonable pace?
Exactly the same as we currently have. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it's the same as we currently have.
But how? If you get... Because let's say that you gain and lose 20% per game. 20 skill or 25 skill rating per game,
right?
Like your numbers not actually going to increase. Like you'll go up and down, like between like two numbers, for a long time, and then but it'll have to be like hundreds of games if you've got a positive win rate. Like it'll be a much larger amount of games to climb a small amount of skill rating. I don't know.
That's accurate. That's what it should be to get an accurate skill rating. You see what I'm saying? Like, it says to me that if you've been getting a 52% skill rating and you've gained 200, that probably means your current SR is inflated.
Maybe, except I've still got a positive win rate.
Right. Variance.
Maybe.
Or maybe this is the hidden MMR adjusting you to that level.
Maybe it's one of those things of this season, my hero pool is stronger than in previous seasons, but I don't know. It feels I'm just kind of the whole thing of bouncing between two numbers when maybe I'm performing well or not, or maybe the other way around. It's not just
going to be bouncing between two numbers. Every game, you have the chance to go up 25 or go down 25.
Yes.
And that's how it should be, right?
Maybe? I'm not certain.
So, I mean, we're getting into old ground here, but the essential argument is all that actually matters is that whether you do well for your team. Like, the idea that you get... Right, here's one thing that's really horrible. People who go in and die on their own are doing more damage. They're being more active in the game. So, there's every possibility that they're getting a skill rating boost from that, which is horrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, long term, what the effects of this are going to be, and whether this is going to become a more frustrating experience for more people, because the way the numbers work out is less pleasing.
Possibly.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, that people are asking for this system, which is purely win or loss, which I don't necessarily disagree with as a, like, guiding principle. I totally agree with it, but I'm just worried that the end experience is going to be bad. And also, here's something else that I want to know. Are they going to, like, level off everyone's skill rating? Or are we all suddenly going to, like, you know, is suddenly 39 going to be a better number? You know, if I'm on 39 and you're on 38 and we win and lose the same amount, I'm always slightly above you.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole bunch of weirdness around this that I'm wondering how it's going to be resolved.
Well, I think you'll get diminishing returns the higher you get in terms of how many SR you get per match.
I can imagine that.
Because once you hit, like, you know, 4,500, you can't get 25 straight every game.
Yeah, I assume so. But you're going to get more per win than per loss, or the other way around? Like, because they say, at the moment with the current system, in order to maintain your position at the high ranks, you actually have to have a higher than positive win rate.
Yes, that's because there's a lot of people trying to push up to those ranks.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
But are they going to continue that system?
I would imagine so, yes. So they'll just have a flat rate.
But then won't that slowly be decreasing the amount of SR in the entire pool? How does that all work out?
Be.
But if you're losing more than you're winning, then...
Well, I mean, for starters, that's only in the top, like, 0.5%, possibly. Probably less.
But what about the lower ranks? How does it affect the lower ranks? I don't understand.
What bit? Oh, God. Do you really want to get into this now?
No, it's just one of those things. I just want to see how this all actually works out. I agree with you. Generally speaking, what should be measured is, are you winning more games than you're losing? Because if you're losing more games than you're winning, then
you
overall,
should not be going
on average, you are not a net contributor to your win rate. And what matters is whether you win or lose. And I'm definitely down with that as a guiding principle. What I'm wondering is, how is this actually going to play out? How are people's skill ratings actually going to end up? Like, are we going to end up...
For starters, let's assume that, like, Diamond is what? Did we work it out, the top 8% of players?
I think it's... I think
10?
I think the peak... People's peak ranks, 8% of players had a peak rank in Diamond. So that's literally just, like, anything above 3,000.
Okay.
So
it's going to affect a very small amount of the player base, for starters.
Yes. Like I think that Masters ended up being something like the top 3% or something like that, didn't it? So, like 5% of people who are playing around. So, no, 8 plus 3 plus 1 or something like that is how much.
Yeah, it works out about 10%, I seem to recall, maybe 11. But yeah, so, and it really is only at the top end. So, oh, there goes the hitting in the background.
Yep. Men hammering away.
Let's just see how Season 8 goes. I feel very positive on this. I think a possible kickback could be people are going to get much more salty of their teams because they don't want to blame their wins and losses on their own personal failures.
The thing is, that shouldn't be changing. Like, your wins and your win-loss rate should not change from this, right?
Yeah, because it's changing the back end. It shouldn't affect how many games you win and lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, what's it going to be like when you have a GM player who's placed, you know, in Diamond and is now making their way up the ranks? Isn't it just going to be like...
They'll get out pretty fast because they'll win lots of games.
Maybe, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. I've just got concerns.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will see.
We will see.
And at the very last end of the show, there is in-game notifications of actioned reporting.
Yes.
So, you remember when people got sent emails saying, you reported someone, we've taken action against them?
Yes. What they've done is they put that in-game, which I think is a good thing.
Yes. Although, here's something about the whole reporting of when someone gets actioned against. I have encountered some asshats on the ladder being kind of horrible to other people, and I have reported them. I have not received a thank you for reporting, which means those people who are being really horrible to other people have had nothing happen to them, right?
Not necessarily.
No, because it's only a smaller percentage. But here's the thing. Blizzard have to get this consistent. If you're going to like reward... if you're going to say...
Wait. No. Might not necessarily means that either... I mean, there are a whole bunch of options. We don't know from what stage they started the report.
Yeah. And in fact, when the reporting went out, they said at the time it was only on a percentage of people who are getting actioned.
Yes.
But I think going forwards, if they're going to give a thank you for reporting when someone gets, actioned against, they need to do that as an automated thing across the board.
Yeah, I agree. I hope that what's going to happen is this is just going to become very standard. People are going to see a whole bunch of these.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Here's hoping too.
I'm hoping that what ends up happening is that people who are toxic and reporting other people suddenly kind of like get, when they start seeing these pop up their screen, they kind of have this moment of realizing that it's a two-way street.
I did have a thought about reporting and a system which I would like to know why it doesn't work. And that is the idea. So we know that like the avoid this player didn't work because it meant that some people that were just good with a character that, was awkward, people didn't, go on a team with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I explain that at all well? No, but you get what I mean. There were those widow players who hadn't done anything wrong, but people just wanted to avoid them. What if there was a button to avoid being put on the same team as someone? So, like, it's not like you can't play against them. It's just that you're not going to be put on the same team as them. Because here's the thing. People have different ideas of what being toxic means.
It's true. Yeah.
So it basically just means that if people do certain things, you don't get put on a team with them.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? And why have Blizzard not gone down that road?
I don't know.
I suspect it might make some hideous problems with the matchmaking system. But you know what? We're coming up on an hour. We're getting off topic again.
Yeah.
I think it's time to wrap it up for this week.
I think so. I have been Grey.
I have been Ruskeydoo.
I've just realised that when I say I've been Grey, it's almost like saying I've been
You're
great.
now colorised. Oh, right. Sorry. I would think I've been Grey and now I'm full colour.
Yeah.
A rainbow.
I've been Rainbow.
I've been... I got nothing. Look, we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.